there's this Stargate, and Stargate creates these wormholes.
Hey there, Nomads of Lore. I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Sean.
And we are Mead and Mischief, your home away from no home.
And today we are going to be talking about a hidden gem that you should watch. This one is probably the least hidden of this. We're going to do kind of a series of these, several shows, TV shows, books, movies that we really like, that less people like. This one's probably one of the more well-known ones.
Not that less people like, less people know about.
Less people know about.
That's right.
Right. So we're going to be talking about Stargate SG1.
That's awesome.
It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I've seen every episode, most of them more than once, some of them several times. It's great. So we're going to try to keep this and this entire series pretty much spoiler free. There may be some real high level, like not ruining the show spoilers, just so we can have some discussion. So what Stargate SG1 is, it's actually a continuation of a movie from the 90s called Stargate. And in the film, there's these characters that go to this planet, and they are going there, and they're going to try to blow it up and whatever, but then that doesn't happen. And so then there's this Stargate, and Stargate creates these wormholes, and they discover early on, very first episode, so it is a spoiler technically, but not huge one, because it's the whole premise of the show, that these Stargates are on these different planets, and they were created, or so they think, by these alien beings called the Goa'uld. They become the primary antagonists for the show as a whole. And it turns into kind of a mystery / monster of the week sort of a show for a good chunk of it. Later on, it becomes more serialized, but most of the show is pretty, whatever the opposite of serialized is, the episodic, and where they go to a planet, have an adventure, and then they come back. To the next. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so there's bad guys, and there's aliens, and there's planets, and there's really, really great crew of people, which is one of the best things about the show. We're going to talk about that at the end. So yeah.
So the season or the show first aired on Showtime back in '97, I believe, is when the first season aired, and then it eventually moves on back over to the Sci-Fi Channel, and finally ends up somewhere else. But anyway, so for the majority of it, it's those two things. Some of my favorite things, and I have not seen as much as Sean has of this season of this show. But I really like the characters. Teal'c is one of my favorite. He's hilarious. He's kind of the smart Spock-ish character, with some really stoic, really funny scenes because of that though. Yeah. And anyway, it's great. And plus, who doesn't like
Richard Dean Anderson?
Richard Dean Anderson, which is
his other
tape,
show,
man.
MacGyver.
MacGyver.
Which I didn't like that show as much.
That's one of my favorites. But that's because I grew up watching it. So
that's probably true.
Yeah. Anyway, great show. So what are some of the things you like about it?
Well, the number one thing I like about the show, before that, we should, if you're this far, should disclaimer this. This show is for the most part fairly family friendly. However, as Jonathan mentioned, it was originally aired on Showtime. The very, very first episode, only time it happens, very, very first episode, there is a scene with nudity. So either skip that episode. If you're interested, I'd be happy to do it quick. So you don't have to watch this episode summary of what it is. We can record that and record it real quick for you. Yep. Or whatever. Either skip that episode or watch it with somebody that knows and fast forward if you don't want to do that. Or
VidAngel.
VidAngel. If that's an issue for you, just so you know, the show is for the most part family friendly, but that is in the very first episode. Anyway, so the best thing about the show is the team. That team of Daniel and of Daniel Jackson, the scientist character, which I love. He's my favorite character for sure. Michael Shanks is the actor. I really like his character a lot. He goes through a lot of growth. I won't spoil a lot of things. He goes through several different things. Samantha Carter is a wonderful character. She is brilliant scientist and a really kick butt Air Force colonel. Well, she's not colonel at first, but anyway, Air Force. Spoiler: she gains a rank.
A colonel. That's gonna ruin the show for you guys. I'm
Totally
so
ruined
sorry.
it. So anyway, Samantha Carter is a great character when she's introduced as one of the stupid. In fact, they make fun of it in a later episode. But one of her first lines in the show ever is something. O'Neill and his cronies are his other guys are kind of making fun of her because she's a woman, military person and whatever, and she quips off with, just because my reproductive organs are on the inside instead of the outside doesn't mean I whatever, which is a stupid line, but it kind of sums up her character. Her character,
in total.
and it's really good. She's great. Teal'c is wonderful. His character arc, his character growth in the show is really great. Yep. You get to see he originally is a servant of the Goa'uld. I won't get into too much details there, but he is originally that, and then he turns because he believes that O'Neill he sees something in him in his 2 minutes that he's with him. I don't know, but and then of course Richard Dean Anderson, Jack O'Neill is a character. Intriguingly is Daniel Jackson and Jack O'Neill both are in the film. Played by different actors. And the Daniel Jackson character is almost identical to the film. In fact, Michael Shanks very much patterned his portrayal off of I can't remember what the actor's name is. His famous actor. I can't even think of what it is. But Richard Dean Anderson did not remotely. And he said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, and whatever. So because his character in the film is much more straight-laced, more typical military guy that, he's going to go to blow up the planet, consequences be danged. But Richard Dean Anderson is the comedian, and he's a funny guy, and he's very hilarious. And so their camaraderie and that gets built over the show is still the best thing. Some of the one-off aliens are really interesting. There's an early episode. The Goa'uld is actually some of the least interesting villains of the show, least interesting characters in the show. There are some other races, good and bad. A race that's good that I really like is the Nox. They're really cool, interesting pacifists. Won't spoil that, but it's in episode 3, so you don't have to watch very much to get into it. But yeah, characters are the biggest thing that I liked.
That's awesome. So in order for you to be able to watch these, we wanted to let you know where they're able to stream. Of course, you can probably get them anywhere. You can buy them episode by episode,
sure, anywhere
if you wanted to. But if you already have either a Hulu premium subscription or an Amazon Prime subscription, they are available right now to watch there. I'm not sure if it's all of the seasons or not, but we assume so. So you should definitely check them out. It's a little hidden gem, probably not as hidden as some of the other ones we'll do, but hope you guys enjoyed it. Please comment, like, subscribe, all the things below. Let us know how we're doing. Have a wonderful week.
Yep. See you later.
Bye.